being vegan is a moral obligation, so when you're not vegan, you are going to be violating someone. What do you think as an individual, what do you think you can do to stop this?
Well, certainly speak out.
Yeah, definitely.
Certainly to speak out, and then there's just a question of, where one is, the conditions under which one is sourcing their meat supply.
Yeah. So under any conditions, do you think that it's justified to breed the animals into existence just to be used? If we don't have to?
Why you?
Like for their milk or for their skin or for their eggs?
Well, I can look at the milk and the eggs as a renewable resource from the animal, if you will. The notion of capturing animals to make fur coats and so forth. Now then you get into an area, so you're on a, not you per se, but one is on a continuum. Yeah, sure. And I guess it's the difference between being a vegetarian, arguably, and a vegan. The notion of using nothing that comes from an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because if we're viewing someone as a resource, that's an instant commodification of the individual.
Absolutely.
And do you think there's a justification when they have their own desires to act like that upon those individuals? If I could leave you with some resources, this is Dominion, what we're showing here on YouTube.
Right, thank you.
And if you are against animal abuse, as you said you are, then the only logical and moral decision we can make is to be vegan and to abstain from any use. Because as long as you're not vegan, animals will be abused by you. And do you know what the #1 benefit is of being vegan?
It's probably a health benefit.
Yeah, well, the #1 benefit for the animals, obviously, they no longer have to be abused by you anymore. And for you, you now have the opportunity to no longer be a hypocrite, because you say you're against animal abuse, but as long as you're not vegan, you will be abusing animals. So when you're ready to not abuse animals, you know what to do and to be vegan.
I respect and I appreciate your commitment. I do.
Yeah.
I do. I certainly grew up. My wife is waiting for me, but that being said, I certainly grew up in a time where I was not as self-aware as we are now.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of habit and conditioning. I hear you.
Yeah, and we're always evolving, so once we know something's wrong and we understand that, we should just evolve from that point on,
I agree. I agree that we are not frozen. My wife is looking at me.
I can give you an elbow touch, yeah. Watch the documentary, and remember, being vegan is a moral obligation, so when you're not vegan, you are going to be violating someone.